Hi, welcome to DK Focus. My name is Kellen Rodriguez. So once again, for those who don't know me. Okay, so now we are going to look at June 2012, question 1, part B of the question. And the reason why I separated the question into two separate videos is because some students linked the trial balance with this question and they were actually confused with what to do with some of the information. Now, if the examiner separate the questions for you and ask you in two different parts, answer the questions into different parts unless they said that you take, unless they say the information is related and they refer to information from the first part of the question. In this question, they didn't. So let's look at it. Part B of the question asks, and they say you are presented with the following daybook. So this question relates to section 3 and section 4 of the accounting syllabus. Section 3 deals with your daybooks, and section 4 deals with your ledgers and trial balance. So we already look at the trial balance, and here have daybooks together with ledgers. Part B1, post the information from the daybooks in the personal account of you plumber and balance the account. So if we're taking this in parts, right? But let's read the next requirement, and this was 3 marks. Prepare the debtors control account and any other account. So what they are telling you, they just want you to prepare the debtors control account and any other account, any other one, because there are more than one accounts that you can find within these daybooks, and prepare a general ledger for the month of September for that account. So you can choose. You have the option to make a choice which one you want to do. So part B1, sorry, you have to prepare the personal account for you plumber, and 2, you have to do the debtors control account and any other one account for in the general ledger, right? So this is all that is required of you for 7 marks total. So let's look at this first part, you plumber. So who is you plumber? We have you plumber in the sales daybook here. We have him here. We have you plumber here, and we have you plumber here. So this is what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the daybook and all the transaction relating to you plumber and create an account for him. So you plumber. But who is you plumber? If he's in the sales daybook, which means it's credit sales, right? Because sales daybook represents credit sales, so he is a debtor, correct? So debtors will have a debit entry. So let's put in our details, date, details, folio, and amount. Right? And what period of time this is? We are in 2011, so we put a year. I'll put the year here as well. Right? And on the 1st of September, or September the 1st, any order you prefer to write it in, we had sales. And I'll put sales daybook here. They did not give you a page number for your sales daybook, so your folio will only have sales daybook showing that you took the information from your sales daybook. Now, they didn't ask you for your folio in this, right? They didn't specifically ask for that. But I'm putting it in just in case a question comes and they give you your sales daybook or your purchase daybook or any book, and they give you the page number. You know that your folio is where you're taking the information from, the book you're taking the information from, and the page number. In this case, we don't have a page number, so I'm just putting sales daybook. It is not required for this question. But I'm putting it so that you will know in another question what is required for you if it is stated in the requirements. And we have 7,200, and on September the 20th, we also have sales from your sales daybook for how much? 1396. Now these are credit sales. However, part of the question is not showing up here. So in your sales return book, you now have, and let me just remove this so this wouldn't confuse you. In your sales return book, you now have you plumber, which means to say that you plumber return goods to you, or your return inwards book, because it is now stated in your CSEC exam, prep exam as sales return book, right? So you can call it your sales return book. On the 3rd of September, or September the 3rd, if you return goods, that means you have to make a credit entry. And we have return inwards coming from your sales return day book. For how much? $1,000. And what is the last entry, or what is the other entries for U Plumber? U Plumber also had a discount for 100 and a check payment for 5,100. So since it is on the debit side of our cash book, it means to say U Plumber paid us 5,100. So we can put that September the 4th. We receive a check, so it went into our bank account, and you can put cash book for 5,100. Now, what also took place on the 4th of September is that we also give U Plumber a discount. So this is a discount allowed. So on September the 4th, we also have to record the amount that U Plumber account has to now reduce by, because we give him a discount from your cash book of 100. So looking at the question, all your day books, your sales book, your return inwards book, and your cash book, there are no other transaction related to U Plumber. So let's move on. The next thing that they say is, and balance the account. So you also have to balance the account. Now, balancing the account is very easy. I keep telling my students one thing. Add the debit side, add your credit side. Pencil in the amount. This here should be penciled into the top of your accounts or to the bottom of each side. Now, immediately looking at both debit and credit side, you will know where the difference lies. So here the debit is 8,005 and the credit is 6,002. So that means, let's say the credit have the least amount. Once you see the side of the account that has the least amount, all you have to do is put the last day of the month, and September have 30 days, if I can remember, 30 days of September. You balance carry down will now be the difference between your debit and your credit side. So you can now minus this to find what is the difference. And once again, I'm cross-referencing. So let's minus here, so I wouldn't cross-reference in Excel. And the difference is 2,396. Notice the zero. So now what you do is erase your pencil marking in your exam. Erase it because you want to present a proper ledger account for the examiners. And now you tally the both sides of your account. And you will note that both sides now balances. And this is why it is important that once you find it both amounts, always look for the amount on the debit side and the amount on the credit side, and decide with the least amount, put the date, and know that this is where you're going to put the balance carried on. Now don't forget, after September is October. So on October the 1st, the very first day of the next month, you have to bring down that balance on the opposite side of where it was carried down. So 2396 is brought down on the opposite side. Right? So, and this is for 3 marks. Now, in the effort of time, let us look at the other account. Prepare the debtors control account and any other account in the general ledger for the month of September. So it's 2 accounts they want you to prepare here. A debtors control account and any other one that you chooses to prepare. Right? So how do you start with the debtors control account? You had it up. Once again, we are working in the year 2011. So I'll put the year 2011 to the top, right? And where do you get your total sales from? Where do you get your total credit sales from? So September the 30th, the last day of the month, you're going to take your total credit sales from your sales day book. So in your debtors control account, this total figure is being taken to actually control what is the amount that is now being owed to you. So total credit sales, and this is taken from your sales daybook as well, right? And the total amount is 14,846. Now let's look at other transactions that will also affect the controls account. We also have the total return inwards amount. So this will go on the opposite side, showing that it reduces the amount of your debtors. On September the 30th, oh my goodness, September the 30th, we have total returns. And taken from your sales return daybook, and the amount is $29.50. Do we have anything else affecting our debtors control account? Any payments? Anything else? Any bounce check? Let's look at the cash book. So in your cash book, we have 2 payments received, U Plumber and V Henry. Now, the choice is yours if you wanted to list this. If you wanted to put U Plumber and V Henry bank and the discount that was allowed, right? Because everything affecting your sales, your debtors, you'll be finding all the payments that you receive will be on the debit side. So you now have U Plumber and V Henry paying you by check. So look at it, the U Plumber, V Henry, they are both debtors. So in September 30th, what you can do is total these 2 figures from your cash book. So I will add it in my column here. We receive a check for $5,100 and we also receive a check for $6,040. So the total amount of checks received is $11,140. However, not to forget that your discount that you allowed your customer, which is the total amount here for $160, because the 100 plus the 60 that you give V Henry is total to $160. This total amount will also affect your debtors control account. So on September the 30th, you have your total discount allowed. And it's taken from your cash book as well. For how much? $160. Now, to balance your debtors control account is very straightforward as well. If you total the debit side, put in and pencil the total. You total your credit side, you put in the total. Here is 14.8, here is 14.2. So you know the credit side is to have the least amount. So right away on September the 30th, you put your balance carry down. And one thing I just noticed is that I didn't head up my ledger. So let me head up my ledger. It's date, details, folio, and amount. Right. So once you total the debit side, you pencil it in, total your credit side and you pencil it in, you know that the credit side has the least amount when compared to the debit side. So all you have to do is put in one time under the credit side, the balance carried on, and wait for the amount when you minus to know what is the difference. So let's minus. And the difference is $596. So now we have a balance of $596. Once you get your difference, erase your pencil marking, and now you can sum up your totals. When you sum up your totals, make sure the rows are in line. So what you're not going to do, you're not going to put this total quite the way all the way up here and this total all the way down here. No, you're going to ensure that this total is in same row with this total. The same thing as in the U Plumber account, you also have it in your debtors control account. Now once you have your balance carried on at the end of the month, in the beginning of the next month, which is October the 1st, you have your balance brought down for the value that it was carried on for, $596. Right, and this is the close of our debtors control account. So which other account would you like to prepare? It is up to you. Now we have rent, we have wages, so rent was being paid, we have wages being paid, we have a discount allowed column. So all of these are accounts that we can do. So if you choose to do like the rent account, rent is what? An expense. Wages is an expense. So both will have the same effect, right? So date, details, folio, and amount. Date, details, folio, and amount. So if you credit your bank with rent for 700, you know you have to debit the rent account, not so? And it's 2011. On what date this was? September the 22nd, 25th, sorry. September the 25th. You paid for rent, how? By cash. And you take it from your cash book for 700. And that is it. To close off this account. Now, they didn't say to balance the account, but you can, if you have time, you can balance the account, 700. You know that, no, this is Excel problem here. It's 2011, so September the 30th. We'll have the balance carried on. And you will have 700, right? Also put in the date for you. And you total your accounts. Make sure it's balances. And if the balance carried on is 700 on your credit side, on October the 1st of the following month, you have now your balance brought down for the same value. Now this question for June 2012, question 1, the entire question was 20 marks, right? But question 1 part A, what we posted previously, that looked at just correcting a trial balance. Now, question 1 part B combined your section 3 of your syllabus with your section 4 for an additional 7 marks. So you see how the examiner could bring in the other parts of the section for you. So, and this is a very interesting question. So if you actually see any more in it and you want to practice it, feel free and do so, because the examiner could bring one for you. So thanks again for joining me. Looking forward to see you in another video. Have a blessed one and all the best in your exam.